Hi friends, this is another life update, and I didn't think that I was going to be making a video like this again so soon. I know I just did one of these in January that maybe some of you guys had seen, and I thought I was being so vulnerable and sharing like, oh gosh, this is the biggest year of my life and I'm being vulnerable and I'm sharing it with everybody. And a few weeks after I made that video, my world just kind of got turned upside down. And I have shared that on Instagram and I've shared it here in my community, but you might not know what's going on. You might not care also. But I am starting to work again and I'm starting to edit videos again, and I do have new projects coming, but I just couldn't like put a new project out and start filming like upfront and talking to you like this again without sharing what's been going on, because I have had a very huge life altering moment that's just kind of changed who I am. And looking at you guys that are here on my channel and that watch, and looking at your age demographic, which tends to skew like on the older side, like 40 plus like me. And I have a lot of people that are in their 60s, in their 50s. And I know that there are a lot of you out there that have probably gone through this. And so having the platform to talk about it, I just think it's important, because you don't know what it feels like until you go through it. So I lost my dad very suddenly at the end of February. And my dad lived a beautiful, long life. He got to live 81 years on this earth. And I feel honored and privileged to have been raised by such a beautiful man. He wasn't perfect, don't get me wrong, but he was a really good dad. And just walking through this process and getting to hear people's stories. I know not everybody has a great, caring, loving, generous dad. But I did. And, he is a warrior. He had open heart surgery, when he was 59 years old. And the fact that he survived that, because he had had like 80 or 90% blockage in multiple, arteries. And he has survived multiple rounds of cancer. And the last cancer he had about 3 years ago was terminal. And it was just by the grace of God and a miracle of getting in a trial that he was cured of that cancer and that he was put into remission. So I know that I got some extra years that maybe I wasn't supposed to get, or I don't know. God knew what he was doing the whole time. But my dad got RSV somewhere in the middle of February, and was in and out of the hospital with complications with that. And the last time he went into the hospital, his lungs filled very rapidly with fluid. He was on forced oxygen. His pulse ox was at 85, if you know anything about medical terms. And so I got to spend those 3 days in the hospital with him and with my mom. And we were like hopeful up till the very end, but the doctors were very compassionate, did all that they could. My dad fought as hard as he could, but in the end, he wanted to go, and we had to honor that. And so I got to watch my dad take his last breath, and while that's a very beautiful experience, it's also very traumatic, and grief is overwhelming and all-consuming. And death doesn't just steal the people that you love. It changes you. And I feel really broken and sad I feel very joyful, and I know where my dad is. I know my dad is in heaven. I know my dad is with Jesus, and the only reason I'm breathing right now is because of Jesus. And I know not everybody might understand that or agree with that, and that's okay. But that is the only thing that is helping me get up every day. It's the only thing that got me through all the services and all the planning, and that continues to get me through the day to day. And watching my mom like lose her best friend and her companion and have to figure out life as a widow. And for me, my dad was such a steady presence in my life. He was one of the biggest encouragers of this crazy job that I ended up doing of being an entrepreneur and filming myself and putting it out into the world. And he was just always so proud of me and so encouraging. He was a brilliant businessman, engineer. Actually, my first job was with the same company that he was with his entire career. And my first day was somewhere shortly like after he had retired, and the legacy that I got to step into and the favor that I had in different rooms that I stepped into because of the last name that I had, like that's something that will stay with me for a long time. And I know a lot of what I've been able to accomplish is because of how much love and encouragement and support and tough love that he's given me over the years. And so just having to deal with the fact that I don't ever get to hear like his voice again or his encouragement or his love is just it's really hard. It's been hard for me to even think about work. I'm blessed in the fact that I'm an entrepreneur and I can take off when I want to take off. But the fact of the matter is like I still have bills and I still have obligations, and I do find a lot of purpose and meaning in what I do. But having to get on here and just talk has been overwhelming for me, thinking about coming back and doing that. And I know it's part of the process, and I know I have to like move on with how things are now, but it's overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed. I'm sad. I've never experienced grief like this before. I've never lost someone that I'm this close to. And it's just something you can't understand until you go through it. And I just know that there's so many people out there that have probably experienced the same amount of pain. And I just want you to know that my heart is like with you, and it's hard and it's traumatizing, and there's parts of it that are beautiful, and it just changes you, and it's okay. Like, it's okay that I'm different now, but I am really having to just surrender that fact that I'm different now. And life will move on and people move on. And I think the pain, I'll learn to live with it more, but it's like the deepest pain I've ever felt. And to be very vulnerable with you guys, I actually had been going to therapy with my parents. Like starting in November, we just had some things that we kept coming up against, and I just like felt this need that I wanted to like talk through some of those things and work through some of those things. And it honestly was it was hard. It was awkward. We didn't want to I didn't want to make the time to do it. I don't want to speak for my parents, but like everything was like, you don't have time for this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm so grateful that we said yes to that, and that we had like a lot of precious time just really sharing about deep things about ourselves and hurts that just like needed to be forgiven and talked about. And my dad had a hard time talking the last couple of days in the hospital because he had the forced oxygen and he was just coughing and he was in a lot of pain. And I just remember the last really like lucid thing that he said to me is he was just telling me like how proud he was of me and how much he loved me. And I just said, Dad, I know there's nothing left unsaid. And I feel very blessed that there was really nothing left unsaid between me and my dad. We knew how much each other loved each other, and in spite of our flaws and past hurts and everything, that we really did love each other, and there was nothing left unsaid. There was nothing left unsaid. So I'm really at peace about where he is. I know he's in heaven. I know his body is healed and he's whole, and he's with Jesus. And but I'm still sad for me. I'm so sad for my kids. Having to explain all of this to my kids and watch them experience this is the hardest thing I've ever had to face as a mother. And my husband has been so amazing and so loving and so gracious. And, you know, my dad loved him. And I know he's dealing with his own pain of losing my dad and figuring out how to love me and be there for me. And he's held the house together and continued to work and just provides for this family. And I'm so blessed to have him. So my heart is just so tender right now for anybody who's experienced loss or like is going to experience loss in the future. Like at some point, I think everyone's going to feel this. And I don't know, I just want to put it out into the world that like if you feel unseen, like I see you and I feel that pain with you, and my prayer is just for like comfort and strength to just get up every day and breathe every day and move a little bit more forward in your grief and know that like, I don't know, I don't like the word like holding space, but I am trying to hold a lot of space for that and for myself. I'm just starting to work on little things, and I have a couple of projects that I've been working on, and the brands have been really gracious with me to give me time, and that has meant so much to me. And just doing like a little bit every day, doing something with my hands and like working on something in my home it's been helping me. But I was just getting overwhelmed about getting in front of the camera again and showing up again, and I just needed to sit down and tell you what's going on. And so the people that need to see this and care about this will see this, and the people that don't care, it's fine too. And for everybody who just shared their stories and their encouragement and their support on any of the posts that I shared when all this was going on, I just really appreciate it, and it held me up like more than you know, and gives me encouragement every day to just keep going. To just keep going. And so I'm gonna have grace for myself moving forward in what this looks like. And I feel embarrassed and weird to just be showing up here and just crying and blabbing, but this is where I'm at. And I know that there's got to be so many people going through similar things like this, and I just want you to know that you're not alone, and that I love you, and that I see you, that I'm praying for you, and just thank you for all your support and your love that you've showed me, and that I know you'll continue to show me in the future. And I'll see you guys soon with some projects. I love you guys. Thanks. This is my dad. Dad, this is Stan. Hello. This is Lauren and Neiman.
Hello, Stan.
They also have a YouTube channel. We're collabing this week.
Hello, nice to meet you.
We're competitors. We're trying to drive Christine out of business.
Well, I'm telling you what, you've got your hands full.
You are right, my friend.
I've been working on it for 40 years and I haven't been able to figure it